Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about why I think the Philadelphia 76ers could be one of the scariest teams in the NBA playoffs this season. Obviously, this is assuming the playoffs even happen, and this is with a tournament or anything. I want to say why I think the 76ers could potentially be one of the scariest teams that anybody can see in the NBA playoffs from the Eastern Conference. So yeah, I'm be getting into all sorts of reasons why I think they are going to be very scary and very hard to beat in the playoffs in a 7-game series. I'll be getting into all that in this video. So if you do like the video, aim point, hit the like button and the subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first reason for this video is going to be that they have one of the most versatile starting lineups in the entire NBA. Like, they're extremely flexible. They can out-defend any team in the NBA. They're a very good offensive team as well. They have multiple guys on that roster that can score in any types of way. They have two superstars in Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Their lineup is just extremely versatile, and they can do so many things good. They could probably even play football good for all we know. But I mean, like, this team is a great team when it comes to flexibility. The reason I say this is because their defense is ranked in the top 6 in the NBA right now, and they could easily be ranked in like the top 4, top 3. Like, they're pretty much like a top tier defense in the entire NBA. I mean, Joel Embiid can single-handedly shut down the paint by himself. He's extremely physical, extremely good rim protector. He can pretty much do all things, and he even has a little bit of perimeter defense as well. Going to the point guard position with Ben Simmons, I mean, Ben Simmons can guard every single player, every single position on the court. I mean, he's one of the best defenders at the point guard position, but he can guard shooting guards, small forwards, and everything just due to his size and how much bigger he is than most players in his position. So I mean, he can easily just guard everybody on the court with ease defensively, and he is a great defender on that end of the court. And then also they have players like Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, two solid defenders, not great, but solid defenders. So I mean, they also contribute to the defense, and their entire team really is kind of built around defense first, the offense a little bit second, but not really. They're good on both ends, because even offensively, Ben Simmons' size helps him. I mean, he's one of the best slashing point guards in the NBA, if not the best slashing point, well, no, second best slashing point guard, because Russell Westbrook is a better slasher than him. But I mean, Ben Simmons is very good, a great player. He can get you your 20 points per game. Joel Embiid can get you like 25 points per game in the paint. He's just that dominant. Tobias Harris is a 20 point per game scorer. Josh Richardson can get you about 15 points. I mean, they do have very solid players all throughout that starting lineup. And I mean, they're a extremely talented group. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ben Simmons is averaging right now 19 points per game, but he's averaging 8.2 assists per game, which is extremely solid. He's almost averaging a double-double, and I mean, if he really wants to focus on rebounding, he could come close to averaging a triple-double type player. And then Joel Embiid is just as dominant, averaging 23.4 points per game, 11 rebounds per game on 47% field goal percentage. So both of them almost double-double averaging players, two superstars that can carry a team. And I mean, anytime in the playoffs that you have two superstars at the level of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, it's going to be very dangerous every night playing them in a 7-game series, because if one of them is having a good game, they can easily go on a huge night and carry their team to a win by themselves. And then you add role players like Tobias Harris and Josh Richardson, who are also capable of taking over games. It's very dangerous to play them, because like, if you catch 4 bad games, like four games in that series, that the 76ers have somebody just having an absolute own night and like playing the best he can possibly play, well, I mean, now the 76ers are one of the scariest teams, and they are more than capable of getting multiple games like that from their stars on their roster. And now my second reason is going to be that their depth of this team is also very impressive. Not a lot of teams can go into their bench and not lose any productivity. Now, yes, if Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are off the court at any time, the productivity is going to go down. That's just how good they are. But, I mean, their backups are not low-level backups like some superstar-level teams have. The 76ers have players off their bench like Al Horford. Now, yes, Al Horford is not the all-star level player he once was, but he is still an extremely solid veteran to have coming off your bench, and is going to be a great leader when he is on the floor. He knows what it takes to go deep in the playoffs. He did it with the Atlanta Hawks and the Boston Celtics. Like, he's at playoff primed. Like, he knows what he's doing there, and he's going to be a great leader off that bench for this 76ers team. And then also they have a rookie in Matisse Thybulle, who has shown tons of potential. And now, yes, he is young and he is a rookie, and he needs to work on his offensive game a little bit, but he's still a very solid defender, and he is going to be a great player in the playoffs for them, just to come and guard whoever he's guarding and like really just lock down whoever he is trying to guard. And they really don't need his offense off the bench because they have someone like Alex Burks, who is averaging 15 points per game off the bench, which is extremely underrated. He's one of the less talk about like bench players in the NBA. He's very solid. 15 points per game off your bench. If you can get that every given night, that is going to give you a chance to win every time. Because really, one of the biggest things that no one talks about is if like it happened to the Cavaliers one time against the Golden State Warriors back in 2016. The Warriors bench outscored the Cavs like 31-7, and that was how they lost. I think Curry and Clay all had terrible games, but it didn't matter because their bench completely just worked over the Cavaliers bench. So if you can get 15 points per game automatically from one of your players, and then like everything after that is just like adding on to that total, and your bench can at least compete with everyone else's bench or even be better, that's going to give you a way bigger chance of winning. And depth is always huge in the playoffs in any given time because, I mean, the starters are playing so much extra minutes that when they do come off the floor, you don't want to lose any productivity. So if your bench is able to at least keep up somewhat of the same productivity that the starters were, that is going to make you an extremely dangerous team in any playoff scenario. And that is something that their bench does. And also Shake Milton, another decent scorer as well, around 10 points per game. So that's almost 25 points per game just out of 2 players on their bench. And then you add Al Horford and Matisse Thybulle and some other players on their bench as well, can also give you around 10 points per game, 5 points per game, and it's going to slowly add up. And you're now looking at one of the stronger benches in the entire NBA. And anytime your bench is strong enough to like really be that like dominant or that good, well, you're going to be putting yourself in position to win. And now when you're playing teams that don't, or like maybe have just as good a starting lineup, if not better, but their bench is bad, now when both bench units are on the floor with each other, well, now the 76ers are going to have the advantage opposed to the team with a better starting lineup but worse bench. So that's why I think this team is just built for a playoff run. And also another thing, they're going to be healthy, but the only reason I didn't really include that like as a reason is because every team's going to be healthy pretty much, unless like they just had a season-ending injury right before this. But I mean, yeah, almost every team's going to be healthy, but that's one of the big reasons why the 76ers are kind of having a lackluster regular season, and which is one of the bigger like digs that a lot of people take towards the 76ers team, which I don't agree with. I mean, Embiid's been hurt a few games. I'm pretty sure Al Horford's been hurt a few games. Josh Richardson's been hurt a few games. So they really haven't been fully healthy for a lot of their games in the regular season. And also, I mean, everybody knows that the postseason is a completely different animal than the regular season. And I mean, anyone can see that. So I think for sure that the 76ers team can beat anyone in the Eastern Conference right now. And that does include teams like the Milwaukee Bucks as well. Like, I think they can compete with every top tier team in the Eastern Conference. Now, would I go as far to say if they somehow made the NBA Finals, which I'm not predicting them to do, but I do think it is in the realm of possibility for them to do I think they could beat a team like the Clippers or the Lakers? I don't know if I'd go that far, but I would say it is in the realm of possibility to see the 76ers in the NBA Finals. And I think it would be very interesting. It would definitely be something new. But now am I saying they will? No, by any means. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are the better team, and I do think they're more built for an NBA Finals run. But I'm just saying why, pretty much in the early rounds, how they could upset a team like Boston. Like, they could upset those kind of teams that people have above them. Like, I could easily see them upsetting Toronto, Boston, like any team like that. And they're going to be extremely scary for teams, at least in the early rounds of the playoffs. And I don't think anybody wants to match up against them early at all. So yeah. But that's why I think the Philadelphia 76ers could be one of the most terrifying teams in the NBA going into this next season. And if you disagree with me, I want to hear your comment section below. If you agree with me, I also want to hear why you agree with me. So comment all your things and or video ideas or anything like that in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. Hope you have a blessed day. Can I have a blessed day? So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.